The path that belongs to God. Long ago, in the ancient town of Òkè-Olá, people were divided by endless quarrels over religion. Each group insisted their way pleased God the most. Some fasted for days without end, others gave the largest offerings, and yet others recited prayers so long their voices grew hoarse. The town that had once thrived on friendship and trade now simmered with distrust. Neighbors avoided one another, and laughter had become rare. At the edge of the town lived an old wanderer named Aróyè. No one knew where he had come from or how old he was, but his calm eyes and gentle smile gave the impression that he had seen the world and its secrets more clearly than anyone else. Children followed him quietly, and even the animals seemed unafraid in his presence. One year, during the festival of first fruits, a time meant for gratitude and unity, the leaders of the three largest religious groups decided to confront Aróyè. They believed that if he could declare whose religion was the truest, the dispute would finally be settled. The first leader, a stern man named Òkè-Olá, said, "My people fast the longest, that is God's true religion." The second, a wealthy woman named Aróyè, said, "My people give the greatest offerings. That is God's true religion." The third, a scholar named Piety, said, "My people recite the longest prayers. That is God's true religion." Aróyè listened quietly and then invited them to accompany him on a journey to the hill outside the town. The leaders scoffed but followed, thinking they would display their knowledge and win his approval. As they traveled, they encountered a blind woman struggling to carry a heavy pot of water from the well. The leaders ignored her. Òkè-Olá muttered, "We must not waste time. Our discussion is more important than her trouble." Aróyè said, "Someone else will help her." Piety frowned and muttered, "If she had prepared properly, she wouldn't be in this situation." Aróyè stepped forward, took the pot, and carried it to her hut. He stayed to ensure she was safely inside before continuing. "Which of us served God on this path?" asked Òkè-Olá. Aróyè did not answer. He only smiled and continued walking. Further along, they came upon two young boys quarreling over a broken flute. The leader shouted at the boys to stop, dismissing the scene as a minor disturbance. Aróyè intervened, calmed the children, repaired the flute with a strip of leather from his bag, and taught them to share it. Again, the leaders protested, "This is not religion." Aróyè said softly, "Anything that heals the wounded, lifts the weak, or teaches the lost is closer to God than endless words and empty ceremonies." By the time they reached the hilltop, the leaders were exhausted and annoyed. From the summit, they could see the whole town spread out below, its houses glimmering in the sunlight, the market empty, and the people walking silently. Aróyè turned to them and spoke slowly, as if each word carried the weight of the heavens. "You have asked whose religion pleases God. Listen carefully. God does not measure faith by the length of prayers, nor the size of offerings, nor the strictness of rituals. He measures it by the heart, by justice, mercy, humility, and truth. You may perform 1,000 ceremonies and still walk far from Him, but a single act of kindness, given sincerely, draws the heavens near. Treat your neighbor with fairness, feed the hungry, protect the weak, and speak truth even when it is difficult. That is the path that belongs to God." The wind carried his words across the valley. The leaders stood silent, humbled. Pride and the need to dominate dissolved within them. For the first time, they realized that their disputes had been overshadows while God had walked among them in the needy, the lost, and the humble. When they returned to Òkè-Olá, the leaders gathered their people and told them what they had learned. Slowly, the quarrels subsided. Neighbors helped one another, the marketplace came alive again, and the festival of first fruits became a celebration of service rather than supremacy. Aróyè vanished quietly one morning, leaving only footprints on the hill and a lasting lesson. God's true religion is the goodness you practice when no one is watching, the mercy you show when it costs you nothing, and the honesty you speak when it brings no reward. All else is just noise, and from that day forward, Òkè-Olá became a town where the people measured faith by deeds, not declarations, and peace grew as naturally as the crops in their fields.